guys, so today I'm going to be talking to you about Venus. So like I've already been saying in all these videos, I like to think of the planets as this planetary family that watches over us and pushes us to do certain things or brings limitation to us in certain areas of our life depending on where they are placed in our chart. So like I said before, I like to really envision the planets to get to know who they are, and I like to envision them through characters in books or through celebrities, because celebrities are so visible and so easy to analyze because they're so much in the public eye. I'm going to be talking about the planet, and then I'm going to be giving you what it's like in the different houses of the chart. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stay tuned to the end. So today I'm going to be talking about Venus, like I said, and the person that I found to be most Venusian is Kim Kardashian. And I know she is not very liked by the general public, and I find that ironic because people are so focused on her and they say they don't like her, and I'm just like, but you give her so much attention. So anyways, I'm going to be talking about Kim Kardashian when I talk about Venus. So Venus is this planet that is very feminine and is very light-hearted. Venus is supposed to be light and gentle. Venus doesn't like to be jarring, doesn't like to be obtuse, doesn't like to cause difficulty. Venus can be, in this sense, Venus can be very superficial because they rather have this superficial exterior that is pleasing to others while concealing their true selves. And people with a lot of Venus in their chart can be a little bit, they can be seen as fake because they just want to please others. So we don't really get to know who they truly are beneath that, exterior, and it could seem false. But it's not really that they're fake, it's just that they want to be liked and they want to be pleasant to other people. Their persona has a lot to do with the public and other people that they're interacting with. So she's a Libra, but that's not the obvious reason why she's a Venus. She has Venus squaring Neptune, and it's opposing her Pisces moon. I'm looking at her chart here. I'm gonna put it up here. She might not be your traditional Venus, She adds that romantic, elusive element because you have that interaction with Neptune. She's bringing that Neptune element. But she has her Venus within 10 degrees of her MC. So with her Libra sun in the 11th house. So she's bringing that Venus energy strongly from the very public parts of her chart. So that's why she's such a Venusian person. So she has the 11th house action that is bringing it in society. That's where she has her Libra sun. So she's bringing people in through her sun, through her Libra sun in the 11th house of society, right? And Venus brings value. So not values, that would be more Jupiter, but values, the things that you like to spend your money on, the things that you want to buy to make your house beautiful, to make yourself beautiful. Venus is very much about decoration and, in a sense, artifice, the things that you adorn yourself with. Venus rules adornment, makeup, things that you do to make yourself look pleasing, appealing. So she very much has created an empire for herself on makeup and adornment. And that show, I've never actually seen it, but she is very well put together. And I think it's so not ironic, but I think it's funny. Her Venus is actually in Virgo, and how she got started in her careers, she used to be an image consultant. That is so Venusian. She has Venus in the 10th house. Her 10th house is her public reputation, and it's her career basically. And she used to organize people's closets. And is there anything more Venus in Virgo than organizing people's closets for a living? Like, there isn't. Venus in Virgo conjunct the MC. She used to organize Paris Hilton's closet, and not just organize it, but help her put her outfits together. That is very much a Venusian thing that she does. So like I said, I like to give all the planets like a nickname for who they represent in the family. And Kim Kardashian is that older sister who knows how to do makeup. So you know how there were some kids probably in school, there was this girl in my school, so beautiful, and she used to have her face beat really well since middle school. She had beautiful eyeliner, her eyebrows were gorgeous, And they weren't just naturally gorgeous, they were done. They were like done. And she was in middle school. And even though that's normal now, like to have middle school kids who know how to do makeup because they can watch YouTube, but I'm from the 90s, you know, like in the early 2000s, like we didn't have that. So this girl looked better than all of us. She looked older, she looked more refined, and she had this older sister who knew how to do makeup. So Kim Kardashian is that older sister that knows how to do makeup. And wherever she is placed in your chart is where you can be kind of artificial, where you can have this persona about you that wants to please, that is not really authentic, that is more concerned with pleasing people, depending on wherever Venus is in your chart. Venus also brings luck and money and just where things are easy for you. So if you have Venus in the first house, then the place where you want to please others is through your persona, through your personality and your physical appearance. You really embody that Venus, but make sure that you are paying attention to what sign your Venus is in. I have a friend who has Venus in Aries. So Venus in Aries is not in a good placement. It doesn't like being in Aries. So she's just like, I'm supposed to be very beautiful because my Venus is in the first house. But I'm just like, your Venus is in Aries. Your Venus is not comfortable being in Aries. So you're going to project that Venus very much into the world. Whatever Venus you have is going to be very easily seen by others if you have it in the first house. If you have Venus in the second house, that's a very lucky placement because Venus is money and the second house is the house of resources. So you might have an easy time of making money. It's making money and, you know, getting your riches is going to be easy for you if you have Venus in the second house. If you have Venus in the third house, then it's going to be very easy to you to sweet talk people. People are going to find your way of communicating very pleasant, and your interactions with people are going to be very pleasant. You might be really good at small talk, even though people are going to be like, oh, I don't like small talk. Well, if you have Venus in the third house, you're very good at it, and you know what to say in Venus in the third house. If you have Venus in the fourth house, people might not really see that Venus in you. Whatever sign it's in, people who are on the outside might not see that side of you. They might not see that pleasant, artificial side of you. The only people who are going to see that side of you are people who are very close to you. And you're probably privately very sweet, but publicly you're not very sweet if you have Venus in the fourth house. If you have Venus in the fifth house, that brings you luck in relationships, like in fun flings. You might have a lot of flings. You might have a lot of boyfriends, girlfriends when you have Venus in the fifth house. It brings you luck also with kids. Kids might really like you when you have Venus in the fifth house. You might have a childlike quality to your personality and the way that you present yourself. If you have Venus in the sixth house, then working is going to be very easy for you. It's just the way that you do things is through your work is going to be easy. If you have Venus in the seventh house, that brings you luck in relationships. So that's your house of one-on-one relationships. So if you have Venus there, then having relationships is going to come easy to you, and you're going to attract people to you that are nice and pleasant and just want to treat you right. If you have Venus in the eighth house, then you suppress that Venus element to you. You might not seem or be a very agreeable person because Venus is very agreeable, and you have it in the eighth house, so a very hidden and suppressed house. So you might not appear like a very pleasant person when you have Venus in the eighth house. If you have Venus in the ninth house, then your interaction with the outer world is very pleasant. It's easy for you to travel and to get out in the world. You really might like traveling and exploring the world through your travels, and maybe exploring philosophy and other cultures and really knowing the world through traveling. And that might be very easy for you if you have Venus in the ninth house. If you have Venus in the 10th house, then your public persona is going to be very beautiful. You're going to have a very carefully curated self coming from the 10th house, depending on what sign it's in. Right? You're the type of person who needs to have that perfect Facebook picture, that perfect Instagram post. You're not the kind of person to upload pictures without makeup, because you're just gonna be like, why wouldn't you want to look your best in your profile picture or whatever? If you have Venus in the 11th house, then society is going to see you as a very Venusian person. They're really going to see that sign of that Venus, whatever it is. So they're really going to be able to, you're going to be liked by society. You're going to be liked by people because they're going to be drawn to that Venus in you. They're going to very easily see it. And displaying your Venus is going to be very easy to you. depending on what sign it's in, okay? If you have Venus in the 12th house, then displaying your Venus is very difficult. You have a hard time showing affection to others. You might struggle with self-esteem if you have Venus in the 12th house. It might be difficult for you to see yourself as a lovely person, to see that Venus, whatever its sign it's in, to see it in yourself, because it's in such a subconscious and unconscious part of the chart. You also might be drawn to secret love affairs if you have Venus in the 12th house, because it is the house of secret love affairs, and Venus is also a sign of love and relationships. So you have it hidden there. Okay, guys, so that was Venus as Kim Kardashian, the older sister who knows how to do makeup, and through the chart. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.